Yo, what up? All right, we're going to get started. Hope everybody's doing good. Yo. All right, let me put my phone over here. All right, let's get sit up. Just chilling right here. Got to put this little mouse away, you know. Mars Garage, what's up, man? How you doing? Just chilling right here. It's Friday night. It's not so late. 10 p.m. over here. How are you doing, man? Nice. Staying up. That's cool, man. Yeah, I was chilling at the pad, I was just looking at stuff on the internet, looking up flake, pearls, paints, all this stuff, just kind of digging through like different websites and everything. And after a while, man, I was just like, you know what? I need to go to the bench. I need to work on something. And I started thinking about the Corvair and this other build. And I was like, yo, I need to start wet sanding this thing, because there is a part in the back where I want to add another flame to it. But I kind of want to prep that area. I want to wet sand the roof. I want to wet sand that back panel on the trunk. And then some other parts that I want to wet sand. So this way I can get started and applying that right there. And there's this other body of this Laurel from a Fujimi model car kit that I also want to wet sand as well. So I'm thinking about doing those two cars for this session, at least to get them prepped, and then maybe tomorrow or this weekend, I'll probably just paint that flame on the Corvair. So this way that car's already ready to go, Let's see. So you're up in Hesperia. Oh, nice, man. That's cool. That's what's up, man. Let's see. I started painting a 69 Camaro for the USACC group build. Oh, that's cool. How long is that group build going on for? Let's see. I also, real quick, wanted to show you this other camera angle. Check this out. Bam! Got the whole bench right here. We're going to be rocking this right here. So we're going to be doing that one in a little bit. So let's see. Before we get started, I just want to make sure everything is hooked up. Let me know, guys, about the sound. Also, let's see. So Mars says starts September 15th, ends March 31st. Oh man, that's a good amount of time right there. That's nice, man. Yeah, because things take time. I mean, I know there's some that I've seen they're like 2 month, 1 month build offs. Like, dang, those are a lot of work right there. What up, Freddie? How you doing, man? What's up? Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I was just chilling, man, and I was like, there's a couple things I need to do, so I better just broadcast it while I'm doing it, because if not, I just feel like I'm doing it by myself right here. But you guys chilling out with me here, that'd be fun. Let's see. All right, cool. So we're all hooked up right here. Just trying to make sure. And I'm going to show you the way I go about wet sanding my cars after, they're clear coated. So let me minimize this real quick. All right, cool. So check it out. I have the Corvair right here. And when I start to feel the top, and look at some of the shine right here. That's the flake. It has clear on it, but this flake isn't buried yet. When I rub my finger on it, I could still feel the coarseness or the grittiness or whatever of the flake standing up. Let's see if it gets this. Just stare at the roof. As I'm turning it, it does not look smooth. It looks like it has little pits or you see it right there as the light's hitting it. So this doesn't mean that like we're done, it's cool. It's got to be like a nice somewhat thick finish where when you, let's say when you like put it up to your face like this, and if this is like facing me, I should be able to see my reflection on here, you know? Right here, you see something like, look at my finger. You can see it right there, right? We're getting there. It's blurry. So we still need to add another layer to this. But before we go on and spray this whole layer, we have to lightly like wet sand this. We don't want to go too much, because then what's going to happen is we're going to end up cutting through that, and we're going to end up hitting some of these flakes. And since they were coated with pink candy, what's going to end up happening is that some of that pink candy is going to wear off, and then we're going to go back down to the silver candy, you know? So that's one of the things. I had already talked about the flames that I added right here. They're somewhat like ghost flames in a way. Let's see. I'm trying to get that angle. You could kind of see them right there in the front with pearl. Flames right here. Flames on the sides. There you see them right there. They kind of hide, right? So, like I said before, what I should have done is I should have wet sanded all this already. And then I should have laid out the masks and done the flames. And I didn't do that. So that was a mistake I made right there. But it's okay. I will do my best to not forget that next time I have to do this again. So this is the main component we're going to work with. We're going to start off with this. And then later I'm going to bust out another model later that I also need a wet sand. Some of the things I'm going to be needing is going to be this tray right here. In this tray, I'm going to be pouring some water. And then another thing we're going to bust out with is this Dawn Platinum dish soap right here. I actually brought this from the kitchen. Dang, my lady better not see it. She'll be like, what are you doing? Nah. So this stuff's good. I've been using it for a long time. You know, you always see those commercials where they show like the ducks out in the water and there's like grease or whatever on them, or oil. They make it seem like this oil rig boat is leaking all this oil, and then they use this stuff to clean them. You know, I think they're still writing off of this. Crazy. But anyway, this stuff does the job. It's good. All right. So we're going to use this. And then we also got this little case right here where I have this is where I keep my sanding pads. And these sanding pads are higher grit. So let's bust them out real quick. So this is pretty much the set. It's just the thickness. This is like a 5mm thickness, and this is the 3mm thick, or the 2. I think it's the 2. So anyway, let's flip it around so you can see the grits right here. Let me put them in order. Okay, here we go. So we got the 6,000. Let's see. Let's get them this close better. 6,000. We got a 8,000, a 10,000, and oh wait, what the heck? Let's do it all over. See, I didn't do it right. 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. All right. So let's put these over here. These are pretty much the same thing. It's just the thickness. You know, it's not as thick as this. So I get to decide which one. Do I go with this thick one or this one? I'm most likely going to ride with this one right here, the thinner one. And then these are just like extra ones that I keep in this little baggie. I don't think I've even used these. These are still new. So I keep them here in this little case right there. Now let me close it. Put this aside. Okay. So out of these, based off of what I feel, right now it's going to be safe for me to hit it with the 8,000 going up to the 10,000. These are like the last two, the highest grits. When you rub your finger on them, they still feel pretty smooth, right? So I'm gonna start with the 8. I'm gonna do a session on the roof. If it still feels, you know, kind of rough, like I'm just doing it and nothing's really happening, then I'll step down to the 6,000. And if for some reason I still need to go back down even more, I'll do the 4, you know, but I'm going to set those aside over here. Let's see. So these are going to be the main ones right here. And then I also need water, obviously. So the water, I'm just using a regular tap water. You know, I just poured it in this bottle right here that I have. So let's get it out. I'm gonna pour some water in here. Let's see. And I like that I'm doing it in this angle, the top view, just so you guys could see the way I'm gonna be prepping this. And then I'm gonna change the angle once I start like sanding. I might play around with the camera, like with the toggle switch back and forth. All right, so now we got a little bit of water. We don't really need that much, just a little bit of water. So I'm gonna close this, set this aside. Okay, so now the dish soap right here, we only need like a couple drops. We don't really need a lot. So let's let me see here. Let me dun, dun, dun. Here's 1, 2, let's do 3, 4. All right, that's it. That was a little bit. That was nothing. So imagine if you buy one of these bottles, it's gonna last you a long time. You know, you're gonna go through it fast washing dishes, that's for sure. But with this stuff, you only need a couple drops, so you're good. Another thing, aside from all this stuff right here, I would also recommend a light. So check this out. This is a light that I've used many times in my bench right here. Shout outs to my homie Dennis. He gave me this Gundam sticker a long time ago. Put it on there. It's always been there. And let's see here. Let me open this up. So this rotates, as you can see. And I'm going to hit the power switch, which is this button right here. That way I could turn on a light. Right now I have 2 lights hitting me, but I need light down here on the bench. Like how that lit up right there. So obviously this top view, it's gonna end up blocking it, right? So this is where I'm gonna end up switching up the camera to the side view. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, here we go. And I'm gonna turn on the light. There we go, it got brighter. I'm gonna try to lower this. Let's see how I'm gonna line this up because I got a microphone close to me. JC's Lowrider Model Builds. What's up, bro? How you doing? Gia. All right. So I'm lowering this as much as possible right here. I got the little bowl right here, the little tray. I'm going to go ahead and put the 8,000 in there. I'm just going to move it around so this way starts to get some of that soap all around. Another thing I'm going to need, let me grab it real quick. It's going to be some of the shop towels. So let me go ahead and get a shop towel real quick. I'll be back. All right, cool, I'm back. So this is the shop towel that I'm going to be using. This is, they sell these at Home Depot pretty much. I just get like a big pack of these. I'm actually going to be going there tomorrow. This is my last roll. I need to re-up. I need to get like they sell like a 6-pack of them. And they last a long time. You know, a lot of people that do custom painting and stuff use these a lot. So we're going to do this. We're going to lay this right here for now because I know I'm going to be dripping water as I'm sanding this. I want the light to pretty much be somewhat above the build right here. So this way, as I'm staring at it and I'm wet sanding, I can, from my point of view up here, I could see what's kind of going on, and then I'm gonna stop and like feel it out with my finger. So let's see here. So now this thing's wet, has a little bit of dish soap in it. All right, and now I'm gonna be going in like forward, back motion like this, right? In this direction. Once I'm done with that section, then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to go in that direction right there. I learned this from NYS Modeling and also Scott Scale Builds. Those are the 2 dudes that I asked a lot of questions and I seen videos on polishing. So let's see. So I'm not going to put pressure. I'm just going to like go over it like this. I wanted to go with this 2mm padding on this grit, so this way I could feel what I'm rubbing, because right now as I'm going back and forth, I could feel a little bit of resistance. I could feel the flake and the clear. See, let me turn this around. All right, let me get a little bit more water. I'm gonna go a little bit faster, but I'm not really putting any pressure. I'm just pushing the thing back and forth, back and forth. Okay, let me rub my finger. Okay, now it feels smooth. Let's see if you can hear that. There you go. It's just my finger like rubbing up on it. Crazy. It feels smooth already. Like I knocked off the high points. Let's see. Mars Garage says, oh wait, you guys are talking right here about nah, it's gonna be glossy. My son wants me to build him that kit. Oh, that's cool, man. That's dope. Building a kit for your son. Hell yeah. All right. I'm gonna do another pass right here. I'm using the 8000 grit. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know as I'm going. Because right now I'm staring at the roof of the model. I'm not really staring at the comments yet, but I'm going to check them out right now in a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to start going like this in the other direction. I still feel a little bit of a grittiness, but nothing too crazy. Like it's pretty chill. And I'm just going slow too. I'm not trying to go fast. I'm not like in this hurry. All right, I'm going to take a look right here. Everything still looks pink. It doesn't look like I broke through the clear and, you know, started hitting. Okay. So I think this is pretty good right here as far as this part. So this front part, I'm not going to touch this because it already has pearl. This pearl has not been cleared. I'll end up pretty much damaging and cutting off that pearl right there, that ghost flames. Right here, I could probably work like these little areas that don't have any of the ghost flame. I could probably do that. Let's see. I'll do a little bit. Right here, I'm just going forward and back motion. Oop. Let's see. Armando Flores, what's up? See, say, I just wet sand, boogie nights, and polished. Oh, dang. That's cool. You're going to be getting that one done pretty soon. All right, now I'm going to do this back part right here. Yeah, I regret not doing this to the whole body before I started to lay out the flames. I got ahead of myself at that point. You know, I was just like, oh, dang. Like, but I know that I could still like bury it, you know, when I do the, like another coat of clear. It's just right now I could feel it, but I wish that I could have done that earlier. But it's all good. I mean, that's what it is, you know. It's part of learning in this whole process. Okay. So I'm going to go right here over this top little panel right here. Turn it the other direction. And then this is the side that I need to prep right here because I'm going to later put another ghost flame right here. But for now, there's nothing there. I feel the grittiness of the flake there. Right there. Cool. Let's see. JC, you say, I'm pretty sure I sprayed too much coats of candy on my cutlass because I can barely see the metal flake on the patterns I sprayed. So I'm going to need to color and before I clear it. And also the car feels pretty smooth, but I buried the flake and patterns too much. Yeah, did you already, so you already cleared it? Cause sometimes it's like it'll still come out. But I know what you mean. I've seen some panels where it can get very dark, and sometimes you don't see too much of the flake. But it's all trial and error, dude. So it's all good. I mean, that one just try to complete it, and then see where it takes you, and then after that, just like observe it, see like, you know, take notes of anything that you feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have done this, or, you know, and then next time when you lay something out, you can start experimenting, just shooting like a little bit of candy, you know, or color as opposed to a lot. Let's see here. Oh, nice. So you said I did wet sand and flake a layer before I sprayed the candy. Yeah, right here it still feels a bit like rough. Oh, sorry, my bad, guys. I keep going up, and I look at the screen and I'm like, oh dang, I'm going at a camera angle right there. Yeah, sometimes when you're wet sanding, it looks like it could get a little milky kind of on here. Okay, so that side's done. So I'm still rocking with the 8,000. As soon as I get done doing this little sash, I'm gonna redo it again, but now with the 10,000. I'm gonna have to follow it up with that. So this stuff takes time, you know. You gotta be willing to just kind of chill, and just whenever you're gonna get into a session like this, like realize, all right, this is all I'm gonna do. All I'm gonna do is just wet sand. I'm not gonna do anything else, you know, unless you have the whole day of building models. But if you only have a short amount of time and a little bit of patience, that you're like, dude, I don't want to burn myself out the whole day knowing that I have to do this, because this stuff takes time. You know, just try to focus on that for sure. And then later, you know, you can focus on other things. I would love to finish this car right now and be like, oh, it's done, you know, and or even like ran out to think like, look, I'm going to wet sand it, and once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and clear it again. Nah, I can't. I just can't. I could try it, but I know at some point when I get down to the clear, I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be stressed out, you know, and I don't want to do that. Like, I'd rather just prep it now, put in the time, and then once it's ready, then I'll just focus on clearing it one last time, and we should be good to go then, you know. Okay, so this feels cool right here. Let me see. Let me get these little trim parts right here. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna get, so I'll just leave that in there. Now with the 10,000, we're gonna get that one wet. We're gonna go back to the roof, and now we're gonna go like this. I've seen some videos of people polishing their models, and I mean, they're using lower size grits, but you also got to understand they're you know, they're cutting through clear, and underneath it, it's just like a solid color, like a base. It's not like there's flake or like pearl underneath it like that. It's just like a solid color. I mean, they could still risk breaking through it, but you got to be very careful with the clear on there, you know. That's funny. I'm just trying to exaggerate the sound so this way you guys can kind of hear it right there. Yeah, I get the sponges, bro. They definitely come in handy. A lot of people, once they start using these, that's it, man. It's like a game changer. Like, you never settle for anything else. This is all I've used. Once I got introduced to God Hand, got my hands on them and everything, started using this, that was it, dude. this is all I wanted to use for prepping the models, and even for this final stage right here to prep it for clear. So even like, let's say when I'm done clearing it, right, a second time, and you know, if I still feel like something fell on it, I could still polish it with this, and then I could use my Meguiar's compound and get up in there too. So that's like another thing right there. Let me do the back. So on this model, I'm just doing sections, but the next one I'm gonna bring out, I'm gonna be doing pretty much like the whole, probably the whole body, and you'll be able to see that one in a bit. I'm almost done right here with this car. So once I'm finished, I'm pretty much just gonna have to clean it, like wash it. Most likely in the sink. I won't be able to do it here. I'll have to bring it in the house, let water hit it in the sink, and then I'm gonna get a microfiber towel and I'm gonna dry it. I know a lot of times when you're you're gonna paint panels and things with in the automotive world or custom, you always use like pre-clean to like pre-clean the body just to get off any debris, dirt off of it. But with these models, you don't really need to do that. That's already like an extra step, you know. I mean, you could, but you could just wash it and you're good. Nothing's gonna happen. It's not that crazy. Okay. So now, yeah, this feels fine. This is like good enough for the session to clear it. Once it's all washed, should be good to go. Let's see. Let me try to go back to the comments here, guys, and let me move this over real quick. That way I could check you guys out real quick. Let's see. Cool. So you guys are saying, let's see. Let me backtrack. JC says, yeah, this was my first time spraying in over 10 years. Man, that's a long time, bro. Hell yeah. Congrats. That's cool, bro. Don't let it stop you, you know. I need to get some of those sponges. I only have the regular sandpaper right now. Yeah, God hand, dude. Get those for sure. And then I get about 30 minutes every night before I go to bed. Oh, cool. So that's the time out there to work on some stuff. And Freddie Soto says plastic and metal are the same way, are different, and when do you wet sand? And then JC, yeah, I wanted to mine after the prep on the sink and just let it air dry overnight. Yeah, you can do all that stuff right there. Are you asking about paint or before, Freddie? Yeah, back then when I was living, before I moved here in the apartment, I would do a lot of this wet sanding stuff over the sink, you know, just letting the water hit it. And I did have decent lighting, so I could see in the lighting like what was kind of going on. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see somewhat of the shine or like the flake kind of dancing a little bit because it has one like layer of clear. I would say it's like a thin layer of clear. But later, once you drop the next layer, then it's gonna be good to go. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that other the other model now, the other body, so we could go ahead and start prepping that one too with the wet sanding. All right. All right, I'm back. So check it out. This is the other this other body here. Let me see if you can see it. Look at the so this doesn't have flake on it. This is, I believe, Orion Silver Max. And then I ended up spraying blue candy on it. So you could see the metallics in it. But look, as you see the hood, you see like dirt, debris, all these little bumps or whatever you see right there. That should not be there. That finish is not, it's not complete yet. When I cleared this one, I did shoot a cool amount of clear on it to cover all the metallics and everything on there. So this just needs to be wet sand. And from there, I can start to clear it one last time. And this one will be done right there. As far as the body. Okay. So I'm going to set this one. Let's see. I'm going to have to make room. I'm going to bring back this light over here. We're going to turn it on. We're going to see what's going on with this and change the angle. Boom. Right here. Right there. All right, cool. Here, let's get this one out of the way. Because it's going to keep focusing on that. So right now, as I'm touching the roof with my finger, I mean, I could see. Let's see. I think like this. You could kind of see the mirror of my finger on the clear or whatever. But I do see it feels smooth, but I could still feel the those little bumps, little high areas. So we're gonna start with the 8,000 on this one too. Yeah, I could already feel like I'm knocking them down with this. Back and forth, boom, boom, boom. Here, I'll do this angle. Maybe you guys could see that. Up and down, up and down. All right, let me feel my finger on it. I don't know if you guys could hear that squeakiness in there. But yeah. All right. This feels pretty smooth right here. Okay. Now we're going to go side to side. So that way we get all angles. And I started forward and I'm making my way back. Now back, I'm making my way forward. Repeat it. All right, cool. Now I feel smooth. And what I'm doing, I'm not polishing it. I'm just getting rid of those high marks. So this way, when I get ready to layer my next coat of clear, it's going to be a flow coat. It's going to have a little bit more reducer in there. It's just going to flow out when it attaches to this right here. Now we're going to do the hood. This is where I feel it. I need to be very careful because right here there's a high point. And on this side, you got to be careful about the edges. You don't want to jack up those edges. So let's start in the middle right here. You could even bend this too. Go like this. Same with this side. Over here. Yeah, this kit's been waiting, man, for a long time. Like right before I moved, I was working on this build and then I just put it away. Like once we found out, all right, it's official, we're going to move. Cool. I just put it away. I started putting everything away. As much as I wanted to work on this build and complete it before we moved, I was like, nah, that's it. Like I can't, there's no more committing to this spot right here where I'm going to be working, where I have my bench all set up. It's done. And you start dismantling, start taking my time and putting everything away. You know, that's just that's the way it is. Let's see. I'll check the comments in a little bit, guys, right now. But if you guys are chopping it up, dope. That's cool. Let's see. Okay. Let me run my fingers now. All right, this feels a lot better. Doesn't feel that crazy. Now I'm going to go side to side, but I need to be careful. So I'm going to do this little panel right here. Now this one. Maybe I should turn it around. Yeah, I should turn it for this one. All right, cool. Just trying to see if I see anything. I think that's it. Let me try it right here. Oh no, I still see something right here. All right, so I still see a couple little bumps. The 8,000 seems to not be working to knock those out, so I'm gonna go down to 6,000. All right, Mars Garage. Later on, man. Have a good night. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna focus on that little bump. If this one ain't gonna knock it down, then I'm gonna have to go down even more. I think I'm gonna have to do it for 4,000. This one feels a little more grittier, but you gotta do it. Let me just focus on that little spot instead of doing the whole panel. Oh yeah, this one's getting it a bit better than the other ones. Yeah, there's like a little dot right here, another one over here and over here. So like right now, as I start wet sanding, it's gonna get like kind of a little milky-ish, because I'm cutting through that clear right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like running down. No, you probably can't. But yeah, it's like looks a little milky. It's probably that combination of the dish soap too. Oh, here we go. See how that's running? Yeah, that's like, I think it's all that, the dish soap and the clear. The cool thing about wet sanding is it pretty much, like the debris, it starts to fall down, like it washes it away, you know? Let's see here what's going on. All right. Cool. So now that I went all the way down to this grit, I have to work my way up, back up to the last. I mean, I could do that, or I could just leave it at other grit, and then once I wet sand, I mean a clear coat, it will attach better onto those areas. So we'll see right now. The goal right now is just to get it where it's nice and smooth, where you don't see any more of those little bumps, kind of like little dents and stuff like that, little things popping out. You can see some of that milkiness right there, like running down. I've never sanded my daughter's bikes. I usually just hit them with wax after wash before the show, but they were painted about 10 years ago, so I'm probably shouldn't do that. How many bikes do you guys got in the collection right there for the shows? Yeah, I've never built like a lowrider bike ever. Back in the day, I used to want one, and I remember wanting one from the catalog, from the lowrider bicycle magazine, or even just a regular lowrider. They would run those ads, and I used to be like, dang, I want one of those. I had friends that had them, and they let me ride their bikes, but I myself never got one. And I don't even think they were that expensive. But you know how it goes. Back in the day, you're a kid, you're gonna tell your parents to buy you a bike that costs like more than $100. They'd be like, hell no. Tripping. Nah. Yeah, I wonder where all those bikes went. I'm sure there has to be like a store somewhere out here in California that will say, yo, this is one of the original bikes that was being sold from that catalog. We still have it in box, or the frame, or this is it right here. We built it the other day. They were retailing for $130, but now it's like, I don't know, $1,000. Nah, I don't even know how much those would even cost anymore. Okay, cool. Maybe that's some of that debris down. Yeah, it looks way better. Yeah, that 400 grit definitely switched it up. See, like right now, if I had this under the sink, you know, it would get all that stuff off. So watch. Now that it's been wet sanded, you're going to start seeing it drying up, and it's not going to be shiny no more. It's just going to be like just dry, like dull. And that's what you want. That's where you want it to go. Let me see. Oh, nice. So, yeah, the Schwinn, they are just flaked over black base coat. And then 12-inch lavender pearl Schwinn. Oh, that's cool, man. 12 foot, not inch. 1K is about what people are selling bikes on the market. Oh, dang, no way. Leon, what's up, man? Thank you for joining. Yeah, there's a bike shop like close to my house, and every time we drive by it on Main Street, my lady's always like, "Oh, look, they have it looks like they have like a lowrider bike or something, or like a Schwinn on the window, you know." And I'm always like, "Oh man, one day I want to go in there and just check it out, you know." But yeah, I've always been kind of curious to see like how much they cost. Like, I wouldn't mind buying one already, like, ready, you know? And then if later I got a little bored with it and I was like, man, you know what? I want to customize it. Like, at least paint it, you know? Or do something. At least painting it would be fun. And then trying to pinstripe it, too. Like, in some areas, I'd probably try to do that as well. All right, so I'm going back with the 400. It's going back and forth. Let's turn this around. So yeah, this stuff, I'm telling you, it takes time. It's not like, oh, cool, you know, it's done. It takes time. Yeah, sometimes I talk to some friends. I'm like, hey, how long did it take you to polish that car? And they're like, dude, it took hours. I mean, this one ain't that bad. Like, I don't have to go too low or too deep, but I'm just trying to take off those things I see right there. and then I'll move forward with the other part. Right here on the sides, I can see more like orange peel than anything. So instead of going to the 4, I'm gonna play it safe with the 6. I don't want to go that low. I just have to be careful right here because I did leave out a lot of parts in the body. This is pretty much a body that's not really going to be customized. I didn't really make that many alterations to the exterior. I just kind of left everything in there. All right. Okay, now I go this side. Dang, 400 to 4K for a bike. Let's see, Galindo's. No, it's not Galindo's. It's a different shop. I think they just sell bikes, like in general, like regular bikes, and then they have one on display right there in the window to like get the attention from people or myself. I'm like, oh dang, that looks cool. Yeah, I think that Galindo shop might be like in San Diego. I want to say. Not too sure right now, but I know it's not near here. All right, cool. So once I'm done with like this sesh, what I'll end up doing is let me go over the roof now with 6, back and forth, and then I'm gonna go sideways, and then I'm gonna climb myself back up to the 8, back and forth, and sideways. All right, cool. And let's see, you did the 4. I'm gonna do the 6 on this one, and then I'm gonna bring myself back up to the 8. Dang. Are you guys going to watch those boxing matches tomorrow? They're going to be on Netflix. I don't know if you guys got that. They're going to be on. I don't know what time, but yeah, I'm going to tune in for sure. I'm going to watch them. I've been talking to my friends about them. They were like asking me too, are you going to watch them and stuff and whatnot. I mean, this could possibly be one of the biggest events just because of the way it's being promoted and the way it's being presented. This one could be a big game changer for the boxing scene because you got promoter Dana White from UFC and other people behind that. And I don't know if you guys have been following it along, but even the whole press conference, everything is basically the blueprint of UFC, the way they set up their fights and stuff. So, I'm sure they're digging it, all the people involved and stuff, you know. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it should be interesting, you know. We'll see what happens. Just and check it out right there. Yeah, today was busy, man. Like I had all these plans to do these things, right? Like I was working from home, but I was gonna do all these things, and then my daughter got like a little fever, like a mild fever in the morning. So we were like, oh, she ain't going to school now. She's just gonna stay here. We'll watch her. And I was just kicking it with her the whole time. I mean, I was still working, but I was just chilling with her. And my plan originally was to start filling out all the envelopes to start mailing the shop cards. But even that, I haven't even gotten around to do that. Like, I was like, man, like I do have all the emails from everybody who sent me an email with the shop card. So I just got to put your address on the envelope, put the card in the envelope, and then mail it out. And that's it. That's all I got to do. Hopefully tomorrow, I'll just be chilling, you know, nothing crazy. We're not doing anything big over here. We're just kicking it, staying home, you know, maybe go eat real quick or pick something up, but just keeping it super, super chill. Nothing crazy, you know, and just wait. If those things come on, then if we go watch them, cool. We'll peep fights and stuff, and then that's it, you know. Just kind of chill. Let's see. All right. So, all right, let me check the comments because I'm over here. I'm over here talking to you guys about this, and I'm not even like reading them. Let's see. Right now I'm using the 4K, bro. So going back, so you said, you said you were using 400 grit sandpaper, but was curious if you were using the 4K. Yeah, all these are the so this is like the 4K, 6K, 8K, and then the 10K right here. These are all, high grit. When you rub your fingers on them, they're really smooth up here, I only use the regular 400 when I'm like prepping the bodies and stuff like that, That's kind of more of that. But for wet sanding, I'm using these. What I like about the God Hand is they're all, when they're polishing pads, when they have them in white, the sanding ones, they'll have like a color, like the 220s in pink. Then I believe 400s in yellow. There's a green and the blue, but I get them confused. One's a 6, one's a 800. I just can't remember right now which one's which. And then later, as you get into the 1000, then that's more like a black color on there. So that's the one thing I like. And let's see. So UFC is here in San Antonio tomorrow night too. Oh, dang. That's crazy. So they're going to have 2 events. I'm pretty sure, like that one might start earlier, the San Antonio UFC, then they get it done, and then boom, it's the other one in Vegas. I mean, they might be broadcasting at the same time at some point, but I'm sure they'll be done, like their last fights will be done, and then bam, people will be like tuned in into this this other event right here. But right on, man, that's cool. Let's see. All right. So like right now, it feels very smooth. We got rid of a lot of those little pits or whatever they were called, I'm just going to let this dry like this for now. It's going to look kind of weird and funky once it dries, but it's all good. Tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll take it inside, I'll get it in the sink, and I'll start to just wet it. Here, let me move this light now over here. Let me turn it off. Change screens. Boom. All right. Let me get this thing out of the way because it is in the way and I can't even see the comments. I'm glad it worked out though right here having this light. Okay. So let me set these here for now. So we have the 10K, 8K, the 6K, and then the 4K right here. Bam. So you got these 2 cars. So this one's starting to dry up. You might be able to see like some kind of like scratches or whatever. Not really too worried right now. What it's going to happen is I'm going to wet sand this. Not wet sand it, just wet it. Get it, cleaned up. Get all this debris off that's going to dry on it. And then I'm going to dry it. When the sun's out, I'm going to bring it outside and just inspect it in the sun. And then I'll double check it again in this light. If I feel like I need to continue wet sanding it, I will go ahead and do that again. Not so aggressive, just really lightly. And the same for this one. On this one, I'm going to have to clean the whole thing. And like right now, as I'm feeling it, like I like the way this feels right now. It feels a lot better, different from how it was before. So once I get done with that, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to end up layering a piece of the flame. You know what? I should do that in front of you guys actually right now, the flame part. But here, let me rub something off because it feels a little gritty right here in this part. I'm just being careful because I'm trying not to touch the flame, the ghost flame right there, because then I'm going to end up knocking it off. Yeah, there's something right here sticking out. Like a little piece of flake. All right. But yeah, I'll just I'll probably dump some water on here and have it go in here so I don't make a whole mess. But I just want to show you real quick the mask, the one that Lazy Modeler makes from Australia, just so you guys could see how that works. So let me so this is smooth now right here. I really want you guys to see how I apply it. So this way, in case if you guys ever want to get your hands on that and try it out one day, you guys can get it. I really was I know in one of the lives I had said, like, you know, I used to sell it and I was probably like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna end up getting it anymore, because you can find it everywhere, you know. I've been thinking about that a lot. I was like, it's such a great product, you know. The dude that makes them, he's awesome. You know, like, definitely support him. If I don't end up carrying the product again, I mean, I'm still down to buy the product, like, because he does eBay, he does a bunch of stuff, you know, and it's easily, like, you can find it. It's just it's a trip, man. Things have changed, you know. A lot of things have changed in the market. It's not what it was back then, you know, what it is now. Like, it's just everything's so different now. So let me set this over here. I'm gonna dump a little bit of more water on here just so it makes contact, and then I'm gonna wipe it down. Here, let me set this here. There we go. Okay, let me use this little towel now. I'm just in the dry part, and I'm just gonna dry it. Make sure it dries. I just want this little area to be dry, nothing else. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna go grab the mask real quick, and let's see here. Wipe all that down right there. I'm gonna layer these on here because I'm gonna let them air dry for sure. Let's see. Once you get to the 1500 grid, they're pretty much smooth to the touch. Yep, that's right. And then Canelo's fighting, so they might end before that fight starts. Yeah, most likely, man. I think they want eyeballs on that, but I think the whole event, man, it's gonna get so much attention. So it's definitely gonna be a huge game changer. All right, so I'll be back. Let me go ahead and look for these little flame masks real quick. All right, cool. I got them now. Let's see here. So these are the last pieces I have. These two are kind of matching, like side to side, right? That. Here, let me get this up right here, so you guys can kind of see that right there. I'm saving these though, because these I can always use them for something like on the side of a different car or something, you know. These are the last. This is the last bits I have right here until I re-up or I get more, or maybe I just like buy a couple more sheets online or something. And then this is the last one of the last ones I have right here. So I'm thinking of just putting it right here. This is pretty much where it's gonna go. It's a ghost flame, so you're not really gonna like see kind of, it's not really gonna matter if it's not even mirror matching to this one or what, because like if you're on this side and you're staring at it, you're gonna see it. If you're on this side and you're staring at this one, like right now you can't even see it, right? Like when it's like this, you can't see it, but look, when I tilt it, you could start to see now, right? There's a flame right here, and over here there's nothing because I ended up taking it out because I messed up on it. So I'm gonna throw this one on, and that's it, you know. So let's see. This is how I'm gonna do it. pretty much with these is you peel back. Oh, here we go. I was gonna go up to the camera, but you can kind of see it right here. Let's see. You got to be careful when you peel this. You want to make sure that the piece is still on the transfer. So because you got to get rid of the back part. Let me see that here. It's not doing it. There we go. It's coming off now. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get rid of the backing, which is the white part of the paper, and all we're gonna be left with is the gray part and this transfer, which is the clear, right? So let's peel this whole thing off right here. Here, let me be careful because I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Why isn't it sticking to the transfer here? Let me see what let me get my this thing right here. My tweezers. I'm just gonna try to rub this to see if it sticks onto it has to stick to the transfer. What the heck? Why isn't it not peeling? But you know what? This is a big old piece. Let me cut that off. I don't even need that piece right there. Where's my little ruler? What? Don't tell me I don't have it here. Nope, it's not here. Dang, my trusty little ruler. It's not trusty no more. Where'd it go? All right, I think I'm just gonna have to freehand it then. Right here. Dang. All right, cool. Let me just get this little piece. I don't need this excess amount. But since I don't have my ruler to have to do it like that. All right, so this is trash. I don't need that. This is all we need right here. Okay. So let's do this again. Let me see here. Yeah, it's probably better if I go back. Oh, why isn't this sticking? Let me see what's going on here. There we go. We got that one. I better not have to do this to all of them. There we go. Where's the other one? I guess I'm gonna have to. There we go. Oh, it's probably just peel it just a little bit. Bam. Okay. So I'm starting to peel this back. As you can see, the gray right there, it's starting to stick to the transfer. Let's do one more because it's still, this is like attached to the white backing right here. There we go. All right, cool. Let's see. Ooh, que la. One more. Come on. There we go. Again? What the heck? This would be terrible if this was like you're trying to sell this product in person at an event. And they're like, dude, what the heck? I thought you said it was easy, bro. No, I think it's because I've already cut this like off of. There we go. So, all right. So here's the back part. Got it off. This is not trash. We don't need this. We have the flame mask attached to the transfer. Okay. So now let's get this in position. You need it. This is transparent. So when you're going to lay it out, let's see. You can see it right. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there, right? Now this is the tricky part when you're going to lay this down right here. Look at that. Oh, there we go. You can see it there. We're going to lay this down. Once I lay this down, then I'll come back to the comments with you guys. All right. So let's just throw it down like, let's see how's the other right here. That's cool. Whatever, right here. It's just like putting down a sticker. Once you lay it down, you got to commit right there. I just hope I don't have any more issues trying to peel this off. Okay, that still feels wet. What the hell? Maybe I still had water in there. That sucks. Uh-oh. Let's see. We'll find out later. But look at that. You can see the, I guess, maybe I'm going to, there we go. Right there. Look at that. See these flames? And then you see these, right? The mask. So let's see. How are we going to do this? Now we have to take off this transfer part. Let me see. When I peel it, I have to be careful. All right, here we go. We're going to start peeling this, okay? But we got to be careful because I think what happened, like right now I'm pulling it in this direction, right? Like in the direction like I'm going with the flame. I think what happened last time is I pulled it the other direction going that way and then ended up pulling the flames. So I ended up jacking them up. So right now it seems right. See this? Taking off the transfer. And then you see the flame in there. Still attached. Bam. There we go. So now this piece, this transfer piece is trash. We don't need it no more. Okay. So now on here, there's still, this is the layer. This is the material right here now. This is the back masking basically now. So now, once I get, like, I'm going to have to cover the whole car and just show this little piece right here. That's it. So once I cover the whole car with tape, then I get my airbrush, I get my pearl pink, and I'm going to start airbrushing this little area. Once that's done, then I'll let it dry for, I don't know, a couple minutes or so. Because it's not going to be a thick layer of pearl. Just something chill. Boom, boom, boom. Then I'll get my tweezers. I'll grab it from right here. And I'll start to peel it, like to take it off as well. Let me see here. I'm trying to see something. So I'm just trying to see if which direction I peel it so I don't jack up the flames. Because I feel like it's the opposite direction. I feel like I have to start from the back and then pull them this way. So this way it gets like those little, almost looks like the teardrop as well. It pulls that. So this that I just did, that's it. I'm not going to airbrush it tonight or nothing. I'm going to just wait to do that tomorrow or this weekend. But as far as the wet sand that's done, this is done. Once this is done, then I could come back and I could add the last thing I want to add. What I really been thinking about is adding pinstripe to the side right here. I've been really thinking about adding a pinstripe line from here going all the way across to the other side. And then the same up here, having it run all the way along and then having it touch right here. And that's it. And then once that's done, then I could clear coat the whole car. Car's done. The pinstripe is buried inside. It will never come off. It'll be there. But I know it's just a straight line, but dang, doing it by hand, really small, it's a challenging thing. So I think I might have to set up tape where I'll layer a tape right on the border. And then I'll put another tape next to the border, above it and below it. So this way there's 3 pieces of tape. And then I'll pull out the middle line out. And then this way when I get the brush, I could just run it through all the way back and do the same for the top. Because then that'll be like the first time doing that to one of my models. I'm gonna do tape because I've never done it to a model like freehand ever. You know, these are just baby steps for me for a model. Getting it done with that, and then later, as I go, then I really want to get into trying it freehand on a model. You know, the thing is, I have a lot of pinstripe brushes. I have so many of them. I went crazy buying them back then, like a little too much. That I have so many to pick from, so I need to really narrow it down to which ones I really want to practice with in order to be able to execute that right there, you know. But right now I'm happy that at least we got this far. Wet sanded the car, we got this done, and let's see here. I'm saving these two pieces for a future build until I get more flames. I feel like I need to order up some more flames right there. And then the cool thing too is like, this is a sticker right here. Look at this. There you go. Got a sticker now too. I mean, this is already trash, but this is kind of the example they give you right there on that build right there. Bam. So I pretty much cut a lot of this out, these sheets, to make my own in there. So yeah, this is just garbage now. This stuff right here. Here, I need to drink some water, guys, real quick. And let's see here. Let me make sure we're good. You know what I've been thinking about doing is what I really need to figure out is how can I stream like videos like right now. Like let's say like if I know I can do it, I just need to figure it out. Or let's say like if I wanted to show you guys a website and I could just pull it up, you know, and be able to show you guys, oh, check this out, check out this product, this flake or whatever, you know, and kind of talk about it a little bit. I think that'd be dope. And another one too is just like a video. I've wanted to look at some of my old videos, kind of do like a reaction or just kind of my thought, like rewatching an old video from back then from a show or just something, you know. I think that'd be kind of fun to look at right there. Let me set these right here. Bam. So these two cars. So what's going to happen is when I clear coat this car, I'm going to clear coat this car too. But they're going to be, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in the same session or second session, you know. But they're both going to be cleared for sure because it needs to be done already, you know. But yeah. Like I need to set it up like a small little window or something right here. So this way when when I get on and I start doing like a reaction video or something, you know, I'll be pretty cool. Oh yeah, I saw that video that George posted. There was a guy at an event, right? He's like pinstriping the models and stuff. That's dope right there. Yeah, man. A lot of those dudes, they've been doing that for quite a while, you know. They got it down. I'm sure some people that are new to it probably pick it up fast too. Yeah, I'm trying to learn it for sure. Back then, probably like before the pandemic, I bought like a few brushes, started buying Alpha 6 paint when Alpha 6 was barely coming out. And that paint helped me a lot to get the feel for paletting, doing some lines on the on a piece of glass that I had. And I remember I knew this guy who he pinstriped, but he was always like having trouble like with it. Like he was always like, man, like I've been doing this for years. I can't figure it out and this and this and that, like just struggling. And I was like, what are you using or what? So he started telling me what kind of brand he was using. I'm not going to name it right now. You know, I don't want to throw any shots at any brands or whatever, but he was just like, oh, I've been using this for a long time and this and that. And I was like, oh yeah, I bought one of those, but for me, it was like really hard to use too. But there's this company called Alpha 6 that has this other one. You might want to try it. And he didn't even know about it. And I was very shocked. I was like, how do you not know about it? You know, if you're in the pinstripe world, but he didn't know about it. So I started posting up like pictures and kind of what I was doing on Instagram, you know, and I would show like a piece of glass with whatever pattern I came up with. And he was tripping out. He's like, dang, you already learned how to do that? or whatever. Like he thought I already knew, and I was like, nah, bro, I don't know. Like I don't really even know what I'm doing. You know, I'm just messing around. You know, it's like whatever. You know, and he was a little like tripping, like, oh dang, because he had been doing it for a long time, and I was barely like doing it. But then I explained to him what I was doing. I said, look, this is the way I'm doing it. So I'm using a clear piece of glass. I'm getting a cutting mat. I'm putting the cutting mat down first. I'm getting the glass and I'm putting the glass over the cutting mat. So let's say like right now, like you see all these little squares, right? And then I have the glass on top. So then I said, this is what I do with my pinstripe brush. Like I'm left-handed. So what I'm doing is, let's say this little square to like this little square, and then maybe to here, I'm just like going down and I'm curving, and then I'm stopping here. But I'm using the cutting mat as a guide. And then I go to the other side and I do the same thing. And then I start just connecting things and start creating like whatever, like pattern or whatever, right? Then I get a secondary color and layer over that and do another color. And I was like, and that's it. And he was like, oh, what? So I told him, do it. Like, start doing it. Like, no one told me. I just got the idea because I'm always playing with, you know, I got the cutting mat right in front of me all the time. So then he starts doing it, and that dude went off. He started getting down and everything. He got comfortable with it. He stopped using the glass. Then it was just all freehand. And I'm like, damn, dude, you got it. There you go. And yeah, he just ran with it. And he's doing it up now, you know. I think he does that more now for like side gigs and stuff like that. And that's cool, you know. Like I'm not a pinstriper at all. You know, I have the stuff. I want to learn, you know, but I think it takes a long time to really to be able to be like, oh yeah, like I'm a pinstriper. You know, I feel like you got to do cars, you got to do a lot of stuff, motorcycles, whatever, like a bunch of stuff to really be able to put that feather in your hat, you know. But I mean, man, when I see dudes do it or I see videos, I'm engaged. I'm just watching like, damn, that's dope. I have somewhat of an idea of what they're doing, you know. One tip that I was like learning is normally I'm most comfortable because I'm left-handed on this side, right? And sometimes when you're going right, it's like you're crossing over to this side to do the thing, and then you have to mirror it. Like if you start on your strong side and you try to mirror it on the opposite, it's gonna be hard. So what I was learning is start on the hard side, create the first line, whether if it's a curve or shooting down or whatever it is. And then when you mirror it on your strong side, it's easy. Like I got it, you know? So, yeah, kind of little things like that, you know? But yeah, I'll do a video. Maybe one day I'll bust out the glass because I have them here, and I'll bust out the cutting mat. And the cutting mat too, the one I was using was the one with the big squares. Not like these are like little squares. I was using like bigger squared. So I was able to connect things like a lot better, you know? And then I would let it dry. And once it was dry, I would get a razor blade and I would scrape it off. I would take off all the paint, not completely dry, maybe semi-dry, get it off, and then get the shop towel, throw down a little bit of lacquer thinner, like maybe spray it or just put it on the rag, and then just wipe it, and then I'd be able to start over right there, you know. And that was like a continuous like practice session back then. And you know, my other homie, he already knew more than me. He was also like sharing some tips. Like we're kind of geeking out on this for a minute, and yeah, and then later I just kind of stopped, you know, but I still kept buying stuff. Like every time I saw like brushes or products, I was going a little crazy just buying things, you know, building up the stash of stuff right there. And right now I only have one bottle of Alpha 6 that I bought not too long ago, and I'm thinking about buying House of Color pinstripe enamel urethane for this build right here. I need to buy it. So I'm most likely going to buy a pink, like a hot pink. They have one that's like I believe it's the lavender. And then there's I believe it's a teal and this other color, like a processed blue. those are the 4 colors I want right now with that. But yeah, if I do this, I'm gonna have to do it outside because that urethane's pretty strong. The smell of it, you know, I haven't touched that stuff in so long, so I know like the minute I smell it, it's gonna hurt my head, especially if I'm in the garage, enclosed area. Like my head's gonna explode, you know. So I have the backyard now. I could do it out there in the day, and it'll be nothing crazy. So right now, it's like I could either rock the pink or maybe I could rock that lavender or something, because this car is pink, but at some point as you turn it or whatever, or it gets a little darker, it almost looks like it like turns into lavender a little bit, like a light, really light purple, you know, but it's pink. So it's kind of trippy. But yeah, I just went really light on this color on here. But man, I can't wait to use this though. I've been having it next to my bench or like my stuff right here. Look at this, dude. This is so rich. It's crazy. And it's not flake. It's supposed to be like the crushed glass. But since I got the fine, I was staring at it the other day trying to see, like, do I see little squares? What do I see? And it's just pieces that are in different directions, different shapes. Some are big, some are small on here. But this is something I want to use. I don't think I'm going to have anything to spray it out with right now. I mean, I do have an airbrush that sprays, it's like an attachment that sprays it dry. I don't know if I'll use that because I know I'm going to make a mess. Like, I would have to do that in the yard, not in here, because that stuff will get everywhere. So I have this other little thing. I'll have to do it on a future video that people use for like flocking. And I was thinking about using some of this and putting it in there. And then let's say I'm doing it in the yard, like I clear coat the car. And then I can like toss some of that stuff, some of this stuff with that thing like in there. And then just turn around. Hopefully the excess will fall in there. But yeah, this is really, really nice. But it's all like shiny and everything. But it's really, I know it's going to be rough, like gritty on there. Very coarse for sure. Let me see. But yeah, this stuff is great right here. I'm really digging this stuff right here. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff I want to get from Paint Huffer that they have. That's really great. Yeah, I have a lot of flake of stuff, but this I have not ever used. This stuff's awesome. Just like the way it kind of just moves right there. Yeah, one of my friends, he was telling me, like whenever he would spray like flake or like things on bigger items, he would end up waiting until he saw that the grass was like growing and it was going to be cut. So this way, like he would spray stuff. He would lay out like a towel, you know, to kind of collect the stuff from underneath. But whatever overspray would land in the grass, he would do it when the grass was high. So this way, when he would like, you know, landscapers come over and they start cutting the grass, it would end up cutting all that grass that had the, like if it was flake or paint, and they would just cut it all out. So now he would have like a whole new set of, like it would just look clean, you know, like it was all gone. And then later the grass would grow back. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna have to take that idea and try it out in the yard one day. But yeah, you could, like you said, you could sprinkle some of this stuff on. You do it with your hand or with that other device that I was thinking about, like put it so this way it spreads it out. But I do have something else to shoot it out of that's dry, but then I would have to clear the car first, so it's like, you know, somewhat wet, and then bam, hit it with that. But yeah, we'll see what's up right there. I'm really trying to figure out how I'm gonna do. Watch, let me as far as the angle. So like right now I have this camera right here hitting the desk, and like this is temporary right now. I just kind of did it for the wet sand, but eventually later, let's see how it gets this. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it does focus. Dang. I thought it turned off the focus on it. I guess it didn't. Cool. Well, it's all good. But maybe like right here, let's see how close. Focus. Not focus. Focus. Oh, it does it fast. All right. Dang. I thought it wasn't going to work. So I've been thinking a lot about this camera, moving it around. So eventually later, I'll be able to pull it out and set it. Oh, you can't see, but where my finger is in that direction over there, that's where I have my airbrush set up. And I've been thinking about, you know, hopefully recording, you know. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Ben? So let's see. Ben is asking, will those spray through 0.5? They won't, man. This is a pretty big flake, right? Or it's not even a flake. It's crushed glass. So this is a whole different effect right here. If you go to Paint Huffer's website and you look this product up, and you'll see the regular size one, it's huge. But this one being the fine, it's still pretty big, but it will not shoot through an airbrush. I really wouldn't recommend shooting flake through your regular airbrush. Use like a cheap airbrush. Let me bring one out so I can show you what I'm talking about, like a cheap airbrush. Hang on, let me go grab it. All right. You, bam. All right, I'm back. I just went and grabbed a bunch of stuff. So, all right, let's see. Let's talk about this. All right, so we're done with the wet sanding stuff. If you guys didn't catch it, you guys could watch it later when this goes live. But I appreciate you guys going back and watching it in case if you missed it. So let's talk about the flake stuff. So Ben asked, can you spray through a 0 or a 0.5? You can't, but you can through this airbrush. This is one I bought at Harbor Freight Tools. But here's the thing. When you use this brush, you're going to need these parts down here. It's 2 parts. Let me take it apart. There we go. Okay. So this airbrush right here was $10. It comes with like a really slim, small little hose. And it also came with a little bottle. That little hose, it didn't fit with my airbrush. So I ended up just tossing the hose. This is what I wanted. But from doing research, I mean, this little thing's small. It's still not going to attach to my Iwata hose that I have. So I needed more components, right? Iwata has a 3-pack, and I'm going to show it to you because I do have it on my website. I'm going to show it to you right now. Hold on. Let me go. I got to go grab it. Hang on. Let's see if these headphones actually reach. Hang on. cool. Check it out. All right, cool. So this is kind of what you need right here. You need this set right here, and you need this set if you're using an Iwata hose. But if not, then you don't need this. You just need this. So in this set, there's 3, right? Out of these 3, that's where this piece, you know, this piece comes from this set right here. So this piece right here attaches, here, let me put this mic, attaches to this right here. Let's do it up. Hopefully you can see that. You can see that right there. All right. So I screw it on. You don't need Teflon tape or nothing like that. It's a nice snug fit. So now you got this. Now you could fit your regular size hose on there. Since I use an Iwata hose and a quick disconnect, this is the Iwata quick disconnect that I now attach into this right here. Screw it on, and now I'm ready to roll right here, right? I could connect this to my airbrush. I could disconnect it, and we're ready to go. So now, as far as spraying the flake, once I mix my flake, I pour it into this bottle. This is another Iwata product, the Big Mouth. I also carry these on my website. Take that little cap off, and then this will fit right here. Slide that in there. And this is the way it looks, the setup right here. As you can see, it's like going up at an angle. The hose is running down through here. But when you spray, I mean, you're going to have to be tilting it like this, right? And you're going to just spray your sample. Here's what happens when, as you can see the inside, there's like a little, I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a little straw in there. And it goes all the way to the bottom. So you want to fill this up like halfway. So this way that straw sucking in all that, you know, flake, reducer, and everything, right? And you're spraying. Sometimes what happens is some of this flake, there could be a lot buildup right here, right? So when that happens, you can either cover the front with like a shop towel or a shirt or something and do a backwash. So this way everything goes back and it washes, and then release it and then start spraying it again. Just hold it down. You could do that. Or what I do is like after I spray every session and I stop, I like to like shake it, like agitate it. And then I start getting ready. I start doing some spray out somewhere else. And then I come back and I just hold it down and I don't let go until I just bury everything in there. So that's the only way to shoot the flake out of an airbrush. If this gets clogged and it gets all messed up, you can always throw this away and buy a new one, right? Obviously, you're going to want to keep these adapters and the bottle. But as far as all this right here, that can go. You can get a new one. So let's get down to the flake real quick. I'm just going to tell you, you have options. There's Paint Huffer out there. There's Tropical Glitz out there. And there's also Little Daddy Roth Flake as well. And each company produces their own colors and everything. Like this one here, this was like a limited edition. What is it? A monochromatic purple they did. Collaboration with an artist back in the day. This one you can't find it no more, but this flake is pretty big. You got to spray this out of a spray gun, like a big spray gun. Or even like a small size dry flake gun. And then when you start to see this flake, this is the one from Tropical Glitz. This is like really small. This is more the scale for the models. This is a 0.004. So this stuff you could use like on this right here. It'll be more to scale. You just have to mix it, you know, with a binder and reducer. This is pretty much the same size. It's just a different company. Look how small that is right there. Let's see if you can see it better. I don't know, kind of like doesn't focus on it. You can kind of see it right there. They're really small. I'm like scared of it flying out. Styrene Life 505, what's up? Let's see. So yeah, I mean, you know, each company does their own. Paint Huffer also has a 0.004 flake in this color that I'm gonna pick up later. I do want to have all the different brands. I do want to try them all out, you know. So far, my collection, I have a huge Paint Huffer collection of stuff. They come out with so much innovative and cool things with flakes and stuff. I'm really digging this. They work with so many artists, a lot of them that I'm fans of, you know. So that's always been pretty cool. Damn, now my hands are full of flake when I open the thing. Okay. I can see it right here. It's already like shiny. I'll have to wash my hands later. So yeah, this is all just metal flake that you can mix, store it in a little bottle and stuff. And this stuff goes a long way, you know, even for those that are painting bikes and motorcycles and big cars. They also tend to, you know, use this stuff and it lasts them a very, very long time right here. So this is kind of the setup you need right here if you want to shoot flake wet, you know. I know you could also get some rattle cans that have flake in them too. That's another option too if you want to go down that route. Me, myself, I love mixing my stuff. I love having the option to put in the SG100 or the 150. Now it's called the it's not the Metajoules. I can't think of the name, but there's another component that you can add in there, and then add the reducer, and then you add your flake or pearl, you know. Now that I'm starting to get the ingredients, I'm gonna start creating my own kind of mixture of stuff, so this way I could start spraying things and try. I'm on the hunt for like new colors, like colors and things that are gonna pop. That's kind of what I'm more on the hunt for right there. Just so this way when I bust out a car, it's more like, oh dang, like what color is that or what, you know. And sometimes, you know, it's gonna be hard to find or you can't replicate it, you know. And that's somewhat of the fun part, you know, of like custom painting or creating custom paint stuff right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get like a rag later and just wipe it with the water. This stuff gets everywhere when it's dry. When the flake is you know, like you pour it, you mix it, and it's more wet, then, you know, you don't really make that much of a mess, because when you spray flake that's mixed in with reducer and everything, it sticks to things and it stays there. But when you do it dry, that stuff gets everywhere and it keeps going and it keeps going and you can't get rid of it. It's tough. Let's see here. What up, Daniel Evans? What's up, man? Thank you, man. Thank you for that. Thank you for joining us right here. Yeah, no problem, Ben. You're welcome. Right there. And then let's see. JC asks, hey, Edgar, have you ever used the base coat that has matching flake from Tropical Glitz? Are they flaked out or just the base? Yeah, you know, I've never really done that. I'm trying to think. So, for example, you know, it's like, let's say this car. Let's just say if this would have been a blue base, right? Like I shoot a blue base and then come back and I flake it blue with blue flake. I've never done that right there. You know, it is an option. A lot of people do stuff like that. I feel like if I was gonna do something like that, I don't think I'd do the whole car. I'd probably just do like maybe the roof or a section, you know, just to break it up, just so it would have a little more character, like having the body, you know, color, and then that. I mean, that's pretty smart, you know. It's pretty cool when they do that. I have seen some people mix paint and then they pour flake in there with the same color, you know, and that's cool too. The one thing I have done is like having a color and then adding candy into that color to enhance it more. So let's say like a pearl gold, you know, and it already looks really rich in its color, but then you get some like, you know, gold candy that's transparent, and then you pour it in there and you mix it. It's gonna enhance it. Now it's gonna make it more rich, a lot brighter. This way, when you spray out, it just, that what you added like a tint to it that just enhanced it right there, you know. Let's see. Oh, right on, the blue from a Ford. It kind of does, right? My grandfather had a Ford truck. I'm just not sure the year. I don't know if it was like a 70, 71, and he had it blue. It kind of reminds me something like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I was. JC says it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but wasn't sure if the flake mixed into the paint or it was just matched the flake. Yeah, there's a lot of options like now. I think like if you bought a rattle can from Tropical Glitz or Paint Huffer, I know they both offer, I think even Coast Airbrush is the same thing. I think all three companies offer let's just say a blue, if you decided to go with like a blue urethane color, but you wanted it to have flake in it, I believe they would get the matching color and pour it in there and create it in a can. So this way when you're spraying out the color, the flake is also hitting there to match, you know. I think that would be the way it'd be done. Yeah, I always like to shoot the flake separate right there. But I mean, you can do, you know, you can go any route. You can do it any way right there. Yeah, I've seen people, you know, for example, they could shoot like different colors of flake. Let's just say if you did like silver flake here, and then you did like a stripe of like gold flake up here, and then over here you didn't do any flake, and then you came over with the candy and you candied the whole car a different color from, you know, the silver and the gold and whatever your base was, you're gonna get different tones, you know, overall of that color. Oh, hold on, I'm getting a call, guys. Hang on real quick. Be right back. God dang. All right, guys. I got to take off. Got to handle some things, but I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see if I come back later tonight. If not, I'm going to call it the night. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in, and see you guys on the next one. All right. Peace.